once upon a time, in the very heart of the sunstone savanna, where the acacia trees looked like gentle giants sketching shadows on the golden grass, a grand secret was being kept. It was a secret held by Leo, a young lion with a mane the color of honey in the morning sun and eyes that shimmered with kindness. But lately, those eyes shimmered with worry. He had taken a deep breath, puffed out his chest, but instead of a thunderous, ground-shaking roar, out came a tiny, apologetic squeak. Panic fluttered in his chest like a trapped butterfly. The annual Great Roar was only 3 days away. That afternoon, he hid behind the Mariola bushes, practicing in secret.
Squeak. Definitely squeak.
Having a bit of trouble there, are we? A gentle voice hummed.
I've lost my roar.
Zola hummed a low, thoughtful tune. A roar isn't a stone, Leo. You can't lose it under a bush. Perhaps it's just sleeping. From a branch above them, a flash of emerald and sapphire swooped down. It was Pip, a whirlwind of energy and chirpy advice. Leo squeezed his eyes shut. He took a deep breath, felt a rumble build in his chest, and let it out.
Squeak.
I've heard legends, she said softly, of the Whispering Falls. They say the water sings a song that can remind any creature of its true voice. The thought of it made his paws feel cold, but the hope of finding his roar was a tiny, warm flame inside him. Will you come with me? He asked. Zola nodded, her calm eyes full of loyalty. A friend in need is a friend indeed, she hummed. We will face the Whispering Falls together. So, the next morning, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, the unlikely trio set off. A lion who couldn't roar, a zebra who hummed her thoughts, and a parrot who believed in surprises. The journey was harder than Leo had imagined. The jungle was a wall of green. The air was thick and humid, filled with the buzzing of 1,000 unknown insects. Every snap of a twig made Leo jump. Their first real challenge was the Giggling Gorge, a deep canyon where the wind echoed in a way that sounded like cruel laughter. His tiny squeak was snatched by the wind and thrown back at him, amplified into a chorus of squeaky mockery. Squeak, 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 ha. But Zola walked up beside him and nuzzled his shoulder. Don't listen to the echo, Leo, she hummed gently. It doesn't know you. We do.
Squeak or roar, here still are Leo, and we think you're great!
Looking at his friends, seeing their unwavering belief in him, Leo felt that tiny flame of hope grow a little stronger. He took a deep breath, ignored the giggling wind, and followed them. They walked for another day, sharing the last of their Mariola berries. Finally, they heard it, a sound unlike any other. It wasn't a roar or a crash. It was a soft, musical hum that seemed to vibrate in the very air. They had found the Whispering Falls. It was a magical sight. Each stream seemed to play a different note, creating a beautiful, watery melody. In the center of the pool at the bottom grew a single, luminous flower, an echoing orchid whose petals pulsed with a soft, blue light.
The legends are true,
Zola whispered in awe. He listened, closing his eyes. The melody of the falls was soothing. It didn't ask for a mighty roar. It just sang. He remembered his father's mighty roar, but he also remembered his father's gentle nudge. He remembered the quiet courage of Zola standing by his side. Strength wasn't just loudness. He dipped his head and drank the cool, clear water. It tasted like starlight and earth. He felt something stir inside him. It wasn't a desperate need to be loud. It was a warm, swelling feeling of gratitude for his friends and a newfound understanding of himself. He opened his mouth, not to force a sound, but simply to let one out. A deep, resonant rumble started in his chest. It rolled out of him, a sound so pure and strong that the leaves on the trees trembled with joy. It wasn't just a roar, it was a song. Ruawa air. Pip did a joyful loop-the-loop in the air. Zola's hum was the happiest it had ever been. Leo felt his roar all the way to the tips of his claws. It was back. They journeyed back to the sunstone savannah, their hearts light and their steps quick. They arrived just as the sun was setting on the day of the great roar. The lions were gathering at Pride Rock, their golden coats glowing in the twilight. His father, Mafaro, gave him a worried look. "Leo, my son, are you ready?" Leo met his father's gaze and nodded. He looked over at Zola and Pip, who stood watching from a nearby hill, and gave them a grateful smile. His roar joined the others, but it was unique. It was a roar filled not just with power, but with gratitude. It was a roar that spoke of friendship and self-discovery. "That was not just the roar of a lion, my son," he rumbled softly. "That was the roar of a king." If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel for further amazing stories. See you in the next adventure story.